So, Mikel, if you can believe it, it's 25 years, almost to the day actually, since you first left Spain, pursuing your dreams, went to PSG, and it feels like a lot of people who are successful in their careers have these kind of defining moments that maybe didn't feel nice or didn't feel comfortable at the time, but they end up being a defining moment. Was that one for you?
100%, because at the end that was the first professional step and decision that I had to make. So it happened really quickly in the middle of the winter transfer window. I got a phone call from Luis Fernandez, said I want to go to Paris to play in that team. So then, I had no experience. I could not talk to the language. I was living with my mom in Barcelona, so I looked at my mom and said, if you come with me, we go together. I spoke to my dad and my sister. They were all happy with the situation, and probably it's the best decision that I made in football.
So what did your mum say? Did she come with you?
Yeah, she said, let's go. Let's pack the bags and let's go. And I really needed that support and that conviction from her, because it's a big move. You go to a different country to play at one of the best clubs in the world with no experience whatsoever. And it was really helpful.
So how does it help you develop? I guess there are probably two aspects to it. I was going to say you'd probably end up doing your own cooking and washing, but with your mum there, you probably didn't.
No.
But there's the other aspect. I was looking through like the stats. Your second game, I think, is away to Milan, like a great Milan side. You're like a kid out.
We were there. I was in San Siro 4 days ago, and it was almost, as you said, 25 years since that moment. And it was incredible. You have to be lucky as well. So someone that really trusts you, like I had with Luis Fernandez, then you have to land in a place and you have to land with your feet. And I did that because straight away I went to the hotel, and who was there? Mauricio Pochettino and his family there. So we lived for 3 months together. And Mauricio was like a father to me. He took me under his belt. He was one of the leaders there, and it made life much easier for me.
It's actually incredible looking, just reading up on your time there. I mean, you're only there 18 months, and it feels like you made so many strong connections that have been with you throughout. I mean, look at your backroom team and Gabriel Heinze.
And then Gabi came 6 months later, and then we built two relationships that they are still very present. And obviously, Gabi, one of my closest people. So
what was it with him where you're now, obviously there must be so much trust, where he's a guy you want to bring in to be like a sounding board, another footballing opinion who helps you now?
First of all, personally, you have to click with somebody, and we certainly clicked straight away, and we spent a lot of time together. We shared the pitch very close to each other because he was a centre-back, I was a holding midfielder. And then
was he loud?
And then it was very loud. Both of them were a pain, but I learned so much from both of them. And then he's a winner. Everywhere that he's been, he's won. And when we are in that edge and looking for those margins to bring success to this football club, you need to look at the people, and Gabi was certainly one that, in my opinion, was going to help us to do that.
So part of the reason I wanted to touch on that is, I was just looking at the parallels between what you faced as an 18-year-old going to Paris and potentially what Ethan Nwaneri now faces. You know, going to Marseille, probably a little bit of fear and tension, massive moment. I just looked at it and thought there's no one better placed to advise him than you. And you talked about having a chat with him in the last few days or weeks. So do you talk to him about your own experiences?
Yes, I did. I mean, when you have experienced that, I think you know what he's going through. And he can put a smile on his face, and this is great. And he looked really excited, and his father as well. But then there are other consequences to that. And there is certain fear and insecurity and getting out of a massive club where you are protected and you know what's coming the next day. And suddenly you move to a different country and to a very specific part of France that is incredibly passionate about the game. But I think it's a really good context for him to develop, let him be himself, you know, and let's see what comes of that Ethan now.
What do you hope comes back? What sort of young man, what sort of growth do you hope and expect you'll see when he comes? I guess it will be, what July or something?
Well, first of all, he's going to be on his own there. You know, he's going to have to now earn the respect of his teammates, of his manager, of the new supporters, and they know him. But now is when you are there, you have to make your own name there, and you have to earn that trust. And then I think he's going to be in an environment of football with, in my opinion, one of the best coaches, Roberto, especially with young talent, to develop him in a way of playing that I feel very identified that can help a lot the development of Ethan for us.
So going back to yourself, as another anniversary kind of approaching this year, 10 years since you went into coaching. When did that when was the seed first planted for you that that's something you wanted to? Because I've spoken to a few people kind of behind the scenes. Quite recently spoke to Jason Ato, who talked about the guys in the analysis department always kind of thought there was something different, maybe even special about you in the way you would maybe on a Monday morning come in, want to understand what those guys did, maybe want to see your own numbers. So is that just a part of you, or was it something towards the end of your career you started to hone in on?
I would say probably that it started when I moved to Barcelona. And then I went...
So 14?
14, 15 years old. And then I went, wow, the way they talk about the game, the things that I have to understand, the logic to the game that we wanted to play, it is very different. So that probably unlocked something on my brain. That curiosity got activated. And then I have to adapt to various countries, different styles, different beliefs from managers as well. And then at some point I thought, okay, what do I really think about the game and how do I feel the game? And then I tried to study the game as much as possible to try to do that. And then I had people that had faith in me, because Pep, even well before I retired, when he was coming to here, he started to talk, okay, why you don't join me? He said, I'm still playing. So that made me believe as well that I have to try it. I started to try while I was a player here in the academy, and I loved it. And since then, we started the journey.
Do you prefer it to playing?
I don't know. It is
too
different.
Many interviews as well.
Yeah, I don't know. People say it's nothing like playing, and I understand that part. But as well, there is nothing like managing. There's nothing like having an idea, a dream, sharing with your people, whether it's the staff or players or with the club. Bring the supporters on that journey and feel that they believe in what you are trying to do, and they are really willing to do it. That's incredibly powerful.
When did those conversations with Pep start? I might be wrong, but he called you, didn't he, ahead of a Chelsea? I think this is public knowledge. Ahead of a Chelsea.
That was before. No, that was even before that. I was, I don't know, 28, 29 already.
Yeah. You must feel as well in terms of, like, yeah, it's almost 10 years since you joined Pep at the start, and he's right at the start of building something new at Man City, building something new, I guess, that's had a massive impact on the Premier League. That must feel to you now like the best possible, it's like being at Oxford or Cambridge or something, sort of having a front row seat and being part of that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it must have been invaluable.
It was an unbelievable experience, and not only for the idea or what Pep wanted to do and Man City wanted to do as well, the people in that journey, they welcomed me incredibly well, the players that we have, how those players evolve, how the club transitions to a different level, the amount of things that we want together, and yeah, the amount of learning with the best manager in the world next to you.
How much has football changed since then? I was kind of interested by a question you were just asked in your press conference about low blocks. You mentioned the rise of kind of man-to-man, and it feels like that, I guess, that positional game that was so dominant for a few years. In fact, I was only watching clips the other day from, I think, 22, 23, and I don't know enough about football to fully explain it to you, but I could see that the game, just the space on the pitch just isn't there anymore, right? So how much has it changed even since you were...
We are trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So we're talking with a lot of managers. I was talking to Roberto about that the other day when I was talking about Ethan, and I said it's a different game. It's a different. What I used to do 2 or 3 years ago, the game plans I used to do 3 years.
In the bin.
Let's throw them in the bin. It's not what you're gonna face right now, and it's moving fast, and it's becoming more difficult, and the margins are smaller because everybody is more prepared.
So what? This is genuinely. I'm asking you to explain this to me. So you have the sort of, I guess, the Pep style, the positional style. Man-to-man becomes more prevalent to deal with that, and then what? Managers start to recruit more kind of multifunctional players, more physical players, more direct football, more set pieces. That's then a reaction to man-to-man. Is that kind of how it's?
And it will keep moving. Yes, obviously there is a pattern, but every game it becomes different, and the context of that game and the result as well dictates a lot, because a lot of teams, they don't want to do that certain things till the point that they are losing, and then the game becomes different as well. So yeah, there are some trends not only in the Premier League, but in Europe as well. And the preparation, the level of the express and every field that is in the clubs now, it's gone to a different level. And everybody knows, probably, we know opponents, and opponents know us better than we do ourselves.
Yeah. What's the next step for football then? Do you think? Have you got an idea? Is it something you think about, or is it?
Yeah, we think a lot of things, and especially we see the game so narrow. Is it worth thinking about changing certain rules as well? And
Well, what rules?
so, well, I don't want to get into that, but I think the game will evolve, and it will have to evolve because it's becoming very difficult.
Yeah, so interesting. I wanted to. This is a complete 180, but I wanted to ask you about Sean McVay. There's we saw from the summer. There's a relationship there.
Yeah.
You have a big game on Sunday. They have a huge game on Sunday. How much has he influenced you? And it kind of links to the conversation we've
Huge
just
fan of
Cool.
his.
Sorry,
Huge fan. I mean, first of all, his passion, his work ethic, his knowledge, his memory. I mean, I've been there and seen him live, meetings and training session. It's a different level. It's someone really, really special. I think what they've done over the last few years is incredible. On Sunday, we have a massive game. I say we because I really feel very, very much part of it. And again, the last two games, they won it by the last kick of the game by very small margins. And they are one game of reaching the Super Bowl again. So wish them all the very best.
So what would be your ideal Sunday? You win, you get home, you
Watch
pour a
it.
glass of wine,
Yeah.
they win.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think, I was going to call it soccer then, do you think our football is becoming more like their football? That there's more, I mean, that NFL style playbook,
Yeah.
I'd imagine maybe for set pieces you have something like that yourself now.
Well, for a lot of restart set pieces, but it's a very different game. Just the preparation, I'm amazed as well. But it's part of the education of those kids, how they've been raised, and the amount of meetings, information, specialists that they have for every field, you know. But yeah, there are always things to learn from other sports, especially from other coaches and visions and how they prioritize information and things to deliver. And yeah, it's been an incredible experience to get to know Sean and the staff.
You could win a treble of Premier League, Champions League and Super Bowl, Mikel.
Let's go game by game.
Last question then. I want to go back to what we were talking about at the start. Do you almost feel like everything has been building to this point now, where your playing career, everything you've done as a coach, whereas now you're building a team that, I don't know, I believe Pep's just said it, maybe the best in the world, competing on multiple fronts. Do you have almost that sense of destiny?
Yeah, but I believe in the decisions that I made now, how this is going to pan out for the next decision on the day or in the afternoon or in the evening. And that's a consequence of what's going to happen in 3 months. But it's the present now, and that's it. It's about football, and the football is so unpredictable. And when you think you have it, so stay on it.